Hey guys, welcome back to Altoria B's channel. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. It's greatly be appreciated. I'm coming on today to show you guys how to make curry goat, rice and peas, candy yams, and cabbage. Hope you guys enjoy the video and take notes. Right here I am washing my goat with some lime juice and some lemon, and I'm washing it very well. You want to make sure you get all the gritty stuff that comes on that goat off. I buy my goat from a local meat market. It's already cut, and I just tell them how many pounds I want and go from there. I don't know. Different stores does different things when it comes to goat, but I advise everyone to get it from the meat house. Right here I am using my seasoning, which is accent, garlic powder, onion powder, Lorry seasoned salt, complete seasoning, black pepper, and curry powder. You can use whatever seasoning you would like on your goat. This is what I season my goat with. Like I said, you can pick whatever seasoning you want, but you want to make sure that you have the curry powder. And I bought this little packet of all-purpose seasoning from the meat house. It's just an all-purpose seasoning as well. So the curry powder I use when I'm making anything with curry, I use Chiefs. Chiefs are great, and this is the packet Chief that I use to when I'm making curry, or you can get the Grace seasoning as well. But here I'm stirring up my goat, and I'm going to season it on both sides because that was the top of the goat, and I want to make sure that is seasoned very well on the bottom as well. And trust me, it's not salty. Trust me. But I'm going back in with all my seasoning. Like I said, accent. I love accent, which it's a MSG. I think accent enhances the flavor in your food. I love it. I'm always going to use it. I know some people don't like the MSG, but I do. And you don't have to put it on your food, but I do for mine. And I'm just making sure that it's stirred very well with all the seasoning. Right here, I am cutting up meat and onion. You just want to slice your onion. You can put as much onions you want if you like onions, or you can put less onions. But I put enough to flavor my food. And you want to make sure that you wash your vegetables as well. Make sure they're good and washed, because they in the grocery store, people touching them, and they whatever. But you want to make sure that you slice your onion. You don't want it too thin. You just want a nice size. And like I said, you could put as much as you want or less. And also I am gonna put a bell pepper. You can use whatever color bell pepper you want. I chose to use the orange one. You don't have to use the whole bell pepper, but like I said, it's up to you how much bell pepper you want. Bell pepper and onions you want in your meat. And I'm just slicing them as well. And make sure, like I said, you wash your vegetables and slice them. And as I am slicing the vegetables, I have a pot on the stove already preheated with oil at the bottom. You don't have to put a lot of oil. You want to put maybe I don't measure, so you just want to see how much oil that is at the bottom, depending on how much meat you have. You want to make sure you brown your curry powder. You want to put like a tablespoon of curry powder in your oil, and you want to stir it until it is that color brown. But your grease has to be hot, so preheat your grease, your cooking oil. And you once that grease is hot and you have browned your curry at the bottom, you want to put your curry goat over in that hot oil. And you want to continuously stir until your meat is like a brownish color, because you want to brown your goat. So you just keep stirring for about 2 to 3 minutes until it's good and brown, like a brown color with the curry on it. 3 minutes at top. And I added some garlic, and you can add as much garlic as you want as well. And you want to keep stirring for like 3 minutes. Just keep stirring it around. Make sure it's brown. And with goat, you don't have to put a lot of water in goat. You want maybe like a half a cup, because goat make its own water. So, but you're gonna have to, as it's cooking, you're gonna have to, eye your water. And if you see where it's cooking down too low, you want to add some more water. Right here, I'm adding my vegetable. I'm adding some fresh thyme. I'm adding a Scotch bonnet pepper. But with the Scotch bonnet pepper, please do not cut it open. You want to drop it in your meat whole. I'm also using some pimento seeds, which is an allspice. You can either buy the powder allspice, but I like the pimento seeds. And you want to actually put it in there as well. But you want to get you some fresh thyme as well. Right here I am getting ready to start my rice and peas. I'm going to cheat way out because I did not have time to soak kidney beans. So right here I bought a can of Goya dark red kidney beans, and I add like a cup of water. And I'm gonna bring this to a boil. I'm gonna add my butter. I'm adding some thyme as well, fresh thyme. I'm adding maybe like 5 little pimento seeds in your water as well. And I salt and pepper my water as well. I like a little seasoned, like a salt and pepper in my rice to give it a little taste. And also I added a Scotch bonnet pepper. Like I said, do not cut the Scotch bonnet pepper up. You don't have to put the Scotch bonnet pepper in there, but I do. Then I add coconut milk. You don't want to add a lot of coconut milk. You want to add maybe like enough where you see that your color of your rice is that color. Right here is me cutting up my yam. You want to shave your yam, or however you want to take the skin off your yam, but I only used 1 yam as well because it was a pretty big yam, and I just, chopped it up. You do not want to cut your yams extra small. It does not matter how you cut your yams up, but you do not want them thin, because if you do, they're going to be mushy. You're going to be almost have sweet potato, like a sweet potato pie. You make for a sweet potato pie. And that's the size that you want to slice them. You want to have them a little thick. And see how thick they are. And then I'm going to cut them in 4s. I'm going to go back and cut them in 4s, because that was a pretty big yam. It's depending on how big your yam is. If you see where it's smaller, you may not get that as many slices out of it. But I was able to cut it in 4s. And yams are pretty easy to make. Right here, I'm adding my rice. And I use pre-boiled rice. You can use different type of rice if you want to, but I like pre-boiled rice. Pre-boiled, however they see it. But trust me, my rice is not going to be spicy because I did not burst that Scotch bonnet pepper. Right here, I have washed my my yams. I'm adding them to the pots. And with candy yams, you do not have to add a lot of water. Maybe just not even a half a cup of water, because yams make it water. You just need the bottom of your pot added with water. And I added butter. I added vanilla extract. I added ground cinnamon, and you can put as much cinnamon as you want, but not heavy, just enough to give them that cinnamon taste. I add nutmeg. You don't have to add a lot of nutmeg because you don't want that nutty taste, a lot of taste, but Then I add white sugar. And I also added brown sugar. And you can add how much you want depending on how sweet you like your yams to be. I like mine sweet, not too sweet, but sweet enough. And I'm just going to stir. And you let your yams cook down for about a good 15 to 20 minutes because you don't want them mushy. You want to check it with the fork. If you see your fork going through that yam, it's time to cut them off. Right here, I'm cutting up my cabbage. I am, and that part of the cabbage, that green thick piece of the cabbage, I keep that. Some people throw it away. I keep it and I cut it in with the remaining of the cabbage. And right here I'm getting that core out of the cabbage because I don't like that part on my cabbage. Once I cut it up, I don't like that hard part in my cabbage. So I'm just slicing my cabbage up, not too thin, but you'll get the gist of how thick or thin you want your cabbage to be when you're cutting and cooking. And right here, that thick part of the cabbage, I'm slicing it up. I'm slicing it because I want all mines, not leaving anything out. So you want to make sure you wash your cabbage real good because it'd be bugs and stuff in between all of that, all of the cabbage. So you want to make sure you wash it real good. I'll rinse mine like 2 to 3 times with a little salt. Just like if I'm doing collard greens, I rinse my cabbage, make sure it's very clean. Because like I said, you end up with bugs in your food and you don't want the bugs. And I'm just breaking apart where some of it's still kind of like together. You want to break that apart. And I always get a strainer to strain that extra water off of your cabbage. Once you clean it, you just want to strain it with a strainer. And right here, you don't have to put bacon. I fried me some bacon and used some bacon grease to fry my cabbage. That bacon does the trick every time. Have that cabbage tasting so good and flavorful. So now I'm adding my cabbage over into the bacon grease where I fried the bacon first. And then I'm adding the cabbage. And cabbage normally don't take but a good 20 minutes to cook. You don't want your cabbage too mushy and you don't want it too crunchy. But 20 minutes would be the best. And far as I'm adding all my vegetables. I put onions and bell peppers over my cabbage as well. And for as your goat you want it to cook for at least 3 hours, depending on, because you want your goat to be tender. 3 hours at the max with your goat. Right here, I'm stirring up my cabbage, and I'm adding garlic powder, onion powder, my little accent. Yep, I love my accent. Garlic powder, onion powder, black pepper, and salt. You want to sprinkle a little salt, and you don't have to be heavy-handed on the salt because you're using bacon. And I put a little bit complete seasoning. And I found that complete seasoning with vegetables tastes so good. So I added a little complete seasoning and some salt. And I add some butter. And I use sweet cream butter. Salted sweet cream butter. And I am just going to stir it. And like I said, 20 minutes at the top for cabbage. Because you don't want your cabbage to be too smushy. And here goes some butter. I add that good old butter. And I add a pinch of sugar. And the sugar just to get that little bitter taste out of cabbage. Because sometimes cabbage has a bitter taste. So, and you don't have to sprinkle a lot of sugar. Just want enough to get that bitterness out of it. And the cabbage you just stir and let it cook down. And you don't have to add water to your cabbage. Because cabbage makes its own water. You don't have to add the water. So here's my candy yams cooking very well, and my rice and peas are done. Yes, The goat is still cooking. Like I said, it cooked for like 3 hours. Real slow. And my cabbage is done. And you want your cabbage to look just like that. Trust and believe. And this is the finishing touch of the Sunday dinner, the curry goat, rice and peas, cabbage, and candy yams. Hope you guys enjoyed. Bye-bye.